Welcome to TKT course by Teacher Teresa, Module 1, Part 2, Background to Language Learning, Unit 15, Approaches to Language Teaching. Contents. Understanding approaches to language teaching. What is an approach to language teaching? An approach to language teaching is a set of principles about the view of language, what language is, the view of language learning, how language is learnt, classroom practices, how teaching is carried out. For example, grammar translation. Language is viewed as a set of grammatical rules, learnt by studying rules, memorizing vocabulary and translating texts, with practice through activities such as grammar drills and translation exercises. Communicative approach. Language is viewed as a tool for communication, learnt by using it in meaningful interaction, with practice through activities such as role-plays and discussions. In this TKT unit, approaches and methods mean the same thing. They refer to the view of language, the view of language learning, and the associated classroom practices. Key concepts in teaching approaches. Look at the features of the two teaching approaches below. How are they different? Structural approach. Task-based learning, TBL. View of language. Language is a set of sentence patterns and grammatical structures. Language is a tool for completing meaningful tasks. View of language learning. Language is learnt through repetition and practice of structures. Language is learnt by using it to achieve task outcomes. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on patterns and structures of the language. The syllabus focuses on tasks based on real-life purposes. The teacher introduces structures and guides practice, progressing from simple to complex. The teacher designs and monitors tasks. Learners practice structures in controlled exercises. Learners complete tasks through meaningful language use. Typical activities include drills, pattern practice, and sentence construction exercises, all emphasizing accuracy and correct sentence formation. Typical activities include projects, information gap tasks, problem-solving tasks, surveys, and collaborative activities, all focusing on meaning, communication, and fluency. These approaches differ in how they view language, language learning, and classroom practices. They reflect beliefs about teaching and how to apply them effectively. There are many different approaches to teaching, some of which have strongly influenced English language teaching and materials. The following section presents the main teaching approaches and their typical features. Main approaches to language teaching. Grammar translation. View of language. Language is a system of rules and vocabulary. View of language learning. Language is learnt by analyzing and applying grammatical rules, memorizing vocabulary, and translating sentences or texts. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on grammatical rules and bilingual vocabulary lists. The teacher presents grammatical rules using grammatical terms and then explains them. Learners memorize rules, learn vocabulary lists by heart, and apply grammatical knowledge through translation and written exercises. Typical activities include grammar drills, vocabulary memorization, translation exercises, reading comprehension exercises, and sentence transformation exercises. Direct method. View of language. Spoken language and everyday vocabulary are the key aspects of language. Grammar is taught inductively. View of language learning. Language is learnt through speaking and listening without using L1. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on everyday vocabulary and oral communication. The teacher demonstrates language through examples and models correct pronunciation. Learners listen and respond in the target language without using L1. Typical activities include oral drills, question and answer practice, picture description, storytelling, and conversations. Lexical approach. View of language. Language consists mainly of lexical chunks, including collocations, fixed expressions, and idioms rather than isolated grammar rules. View of language learning. Language is learnt by noticing and using chunks as complete units. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on lexical chunks and functional language use. The teacher provides texts and tasks for noticing chunks. Learners notice, understand, and use lexical chunks in tasks. Typical activities include analyzing authentic texts, noticing chunks through underlining, highlighting, or noting them down, completing gap-filling or matching tasks, and using chunks in speaking or writing. Communicative approach. View of language. Language is a tool for real-life communication and interaction. View of language learning. Language is learnt best through interaction, with an emphasis on meaning over form. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on functional language and communicative tasks. The teacher sets up communicative activities, provides language input when needed, and offers correction after fluency-focused tasks. Learners interact in pairs or groups and actively use language to communicate. Typical activities include pair and group work, role plays, discussions, information gap tasks, and problem-solving tasks, all emphasizing fluency over accuracy. Authentic materials, example, newspapers, menus, timetables, videos, are often used to expose learners to real-life language. Presentation, practice, production, PPP. View of language. Language consists of structures and functions taught in stages. View of language learning. Language is learnt in stages. The teacher first introduces it, presentation, then learners practice it in controlled exercises, practice, and finally learners use it more freely in communicative activities, production. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on grammatical structures and functions. The teacher presents language with its meaning and examples, guides learners during controlled practice, and supports them in production with encouragement and corrective feedback. Learners first notice and understand new language, then practice it in controlled exercises for accuracy, and finally produce it freely in communication. Typical activities include situational presentations and miming, presentation, drills, matching, and gap-filling exercises, practice, and role plays, discussions, and problem-solving tasks, production. Functional approach. View of language. Language is a set of communicative functions used in context. View of language learning. Language is learnt by using it to perform communicative functions, such as requesting, suggesting, agreeing, in meaningful contexts. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on functions, graded by their frequency of use in real life, and learners' communicative needs. The functional approach often follows the PPP model. The teacher models language in context, guides learners in structured practice, and supports independent use in meaningful, real-life situations. Learners observe the model, practice through tasks, and use the language in real communication. Typical activities include dialogues, matching exercises, gap-fill exercises, sentence transformations, and communicative tasks such as role plays, discussions, and problem-solving. Guided discovery. View of language. Language is a system of patterns and rules learners uncover through noticing and reasoning. View of language learning. Language is learnt by noticing patterns and figuring out rules through exploration, with guidance from the teacher. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on language items, such as grammar, vocabulary, functions, discovered through texts and tasks. The teacher provides examples, such as a text with multiple present continuous sentences, asks guiding questions, gives prompts, and supports learners as they work out the rules themselves without directly explaining them. Learners observe examples, notice patterns, form hypotheses, test ideas, and work out rules themselves. Guided discovery is often used together with PPP, TBL, and the functional approach. Typical activities include analyzing texts or recordings, comparing language items, filling in gaps, matching, categorizing, and correcting errors. Total physical response, TPR. View of language. Grammar and vocabulary are the key aspects of language. View of language learning. Language is learnt through physical actions and listening. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on action-based vocabulary and commands. The teacher gives commands, models actions, demonstrates meaning through gestures and movement, and monitors learners' responses. Learners listen carefully, observe gestures, imitate actions, and respond physically, staying silent until they feel ready to speak. Typical activities include acting out commands, such as, stand up, sit down, pick up the book, following sequenced actions, miming, playing Simon Says style games, storytelling with gestures, and giving instructions to peers at advanced stages. TPR is particularly suitable for young learners and beginners. Suggestopedia. View of language, grammar, vocabulary, and functions are key aspects of language, introduced in a relaxed, enjoyable environment. View of language learning. Language is absorbed naturally in a relaxed and enjoyable environment. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on grammar, vocabulary, and functions presented in an enjoyable way. The teacher creates a positive, stress-free atmosphere using music, art, and drama. Learners absorb language naturally in a relaxed state and take part in activities without pressure. Typical activities include listening to dialogues with background music, singing or chanting the target language items, role plays, dramatizations, and memory games. Content-based learning. View of language. Language is a medium for learning content. View of language learning. Language is learnt naturally when it is presented through interesting and meaningful content, which helps learners increase their knowledge of the world. Classroom practices. The syllabus focuses on meaningful content, topics like travel and tourism or healthy lifestyles, and themes such as natural disasters or renewable energy. Language is acquired naturally as learners engage with content through listening, reading, discussion, and task completion. The teacher selects meaningful content, provides key language support, and guides learners as they use the target language to understand and express ideas related to the content. Learners acquire language while learning about the content. They listen, read, write, and discuss using the target language. Typical activities include reading and discussing content-related texts, writing summaries, reports, or reflections about the content, role plays, project work, presentations, and problem-solving tasks. Content and Language Integrated Learning, CLIL. View of language. Language is a tool for learning subject matter and for communication. View of language learning. Language is acquired naturally by using it to learn other subjects, without the need to focus explicitly on language. Classroom practices. The syllabus integrates subject content, such as science, history, maths, with language development. Learners develop language naturally while engaging with the content, including academic vocabulary, functional language, discourse features, and communication skills. The teacher teaches the subject in L2, or L3 or L4, and supports learners' development of subject knowledge, cognitive skills, and language proficiency. Learners engage with subject content in the target language, listening to explanations, reading texts, and applying subject knowledge in tasks. Typical activities include content-related text discussions, report or summary writing, experiments, research, projects, presentations, role plays, debates, and problem-solving tasks based on subject matter. Teaching approaches differ in how they see language, language learning, and classroom practices. Some approaches are stronger in certain areas than others. The features described for each approach are only typical examples. They are not exact, because approaches can change, and different teachers use them in different ways. Most teachers today do not stick to just one approach. They may use one approach one week and a different approach the next, or they may include practices from one approach while following another. For example, during a communicative speaking lesson, the teacher might include a short pronunciation drill to help learners pronounce keywords correctly. This mix-and-match method is called the eclectic approach, and many teachers, coursebooks, and syllabuses use it. It is effective because learners have different learning styles and needs, and no single approach works best in every situation. Some approaches work better in certain classrooms than others, so using a variety of methods allows teachers to respond more effectively to their learners' needs. Key concepts and the language teaching classroom. Read these tips and mark the ones that matter most to you. There is no single best teaching approach. The choice depends on learners, goals, and context. Young beginners often benefit from TPR, which combines listening and physical actions, while upper intermediate learners preparing for real-life communication may do best with a communicative approach. Learners focused on grammar exams may prefer grammar translation, and those learning academic content may benefit from CLIL. When choosing a teaching approach, teachers should consider learners' age, level, motivation, and previous learning experience, as well as the learning goals and aims of the course. They should also take into account practical factors such as class size, available resources, lesson hours, and their own teaching style to ensure lessons run smoothly and achieve the learning goals. The eclectic approach, which mixes techniques from different methods, can be useful for balancing fluency and accuracy or adapting to diverse learners. This approach is flexible and engaging but must be used carefully. If a teacher constantly changes methods or approaches without clear connections, learners may become confused and feel that the teacher is unsure about their teaching style. It is important to mix techniques coherently, so that all activities build on one another and contribute to the lesson's objectives. See Unit 10 for the differences between acquisition, interaction, and focus on form, Unit 13 and 14 for different characteristics and needs of learners, Unit 16 for ways to present language, and Unit 17 for ways of focusing on and practicing language, and for examples of communicative tasks. Thank you.